Today we uncover the most deadly and venomous snakes on Earth, along with real survival stories from those unlucky enough to be bitten. 1. Inland Taipan, often called the most venomous snake. The Inland Taipan, Australia's reclusive fierce snake, tops many toxicity charts. On a per milligram basis, its venom is among the most potent known. A single bite can cause paralysis and internal bleeding. Thankfully, it lives in remote interior regions and rarely meets humans. When bites do happen, they are medical emergencies. There are documented keeper incidents and recent news of hobbyists bitten while handling captive inland taipans. Survivors typically required ICU care and anti-venom. These incidents underscore how deadly the venom is even with hospital care. 2. Eastern brown snake, Pseudonodja textilis, Australia. The eastern brown is responsible for more fatalities in Australia than any other snake, not because it has the most toxic drop of venom, but because it's common and bold near settlements. Its venom contains potent neurotoxins and procoagulants. Untreated envenoming can lead to severe bleeding, paralysis, and death. Multiple recent news reports document people bitten at homes and workplaces. Some survived after rapid treatment, while other incidents have been fatal when access to anti-venom or prompt care was delayed. 3. Coastal taipan, Oxyuranus scutellatus, Australia. The coastal taipan, often just taipan, deliver 4. Black mamba, Dendrospis polylepis, Sub-Saharan Africa. The black mamba is an iconic African species, long, agile, often pale gray to olive brown in color, and capable of moving extremely fast over open ground. It is one of the largest venomous snakes in Africa, sometimes exceeding 2 meters in length, and is both terrestrial and semi-arboreal, comfortable on the ground and in trees. Despite the name, its inside of mouth black coloration is the origin of the common name. The exterior is usually more muted. The black mamba's venom is a highly neurotoxic cocktail that attacks the nervous system and can disrupt breathing and cardiac function. Bite victims can deteriorate fast without anti-venom and advanced supportive care. The species has a reputation for bold defensive behavior when cornered and can deliver multiple rapid strikes, each injecting considerable venom. In modern contexts, fatalities are often the result of delayed treatment in rural areas, but quick anti-venom administration and respiratory support can and do save lives. 5. King cobra. The king cobra is the world's longest venomous snake. Its bite injects a neurotoxic venom that attacks the nervous system, potentially leading to respiratory paralysis. It's not the most toxic venom per drop, but the volume injected makes it extremely dangerous. Human fatalities occur, particularly where antivenom or hospital care isn't accessible. There's been both wild encounters and captive incidents. Medical case reports exist of severe envenomation requiring ventilation and anti-venom. 6. Many banded kraits are slender, nocturnal elapid snakes found across South and Southeast Asia. The many banded krait is striking in black and white banding and often shows a glossy, smooth-scaled sheen. Their nocturnal habits and tendency to enter human dwellings at night, drawn by rodents or sheltered spaces, make them uniquely dangerous in a subtle way. Bites frequently occur when people are asleep and reach into bedding, or when handling bedding and clothing where kraits may be hiding. Krait venoms are dominated by powerful neurotoxins neurotoxins that cause progressive paralysis. Victims often wake with numbness or visual problems and can deteriorate to respiratory failure over many hours if untreated. The slow, deceptive onset can lull victims into a false sense of security, making prompt medical observation crucial even for seemingly minor early symptoms. Effective antivenoms exist, but outcomes are heavily dependent on how quickly medical care and ventilatory support are provided. 7. Tiger snake. Tiger snakes, native to southern Australia and Tasmania, can vary dramatically in color and pattern, from broad banding to almost uniform tones, which sometimes causes confusion with other local species. They occupy wetlands, coastal heath, and farmland, where water and prey, frogs, rodents are plentiful. Tiger snakes thrive. Their stout bodies and powerful strikes allow them to subdue a range of prey, and they are often encountered by people working near waterways or in rural yards. Venom from tiger snakes combines neurotoxic and coagulopathic elements with myotoxins, producing a clinical picture that can include paralysis, uncontrolled bleeding, and muscle damage. Historically, they were a major cause of snakebite fatalities in Australia before antivenom programs, but modern emergency medicine has made severe outcomes rarer. Nonetheless, the combination of potent venom and frequent human overlap in certain environments makes tiger snakes a species of high medical importance. 8. Philippine cobra. The Philippine cobra is a powerful, regionally significant cobra species native to parts of the Philippines. It is typically pale brown or tan and possesses the capacity to raise a hood when threatened. Notably, some populations have a propensity to spit venom as a defensive behavior, a trait shared by several cobra species, which presents an ocular hazard even without an actual bite. In rural and coastal communities where the species lives, interactions with humans still occur, especially in agricultural settings. Their venom is primarily neurotoxic, affecting neuromuscular transmission and potentially leading to respiratory compromise. Envenoming can progress fast, and because many affected communities face delayed access to antivenom and ventilatory care, bites are a pressing medical concern in affected regions. 9. Russell's viper, Daboia russellii. Russell's viper is a robust, heavy-bodied viper with distinctive brown-olive patterning and a reputation built not only on venom potency, but also on how often it bites humans in agricultural landscapes across South and Southeast Asia. It favors grasslands, farmland, and the edges of human habitation, habitats that bring it into frequent contact with farmers, laborers, and rural residents. Its stout build and tendency to be active during times when people are working in fields mean bite incidence is high in some regions. Venom from Russell's viper is complex and particularly damaging. Strong procoagulants can trigger severe systemic bleeding, consumption coagulopathy, acute kidney injury, and extensive tissue damage. Clinically, it can be devastating if untreated. Lack of rapid medical access or shortages of appropriate antivenom are key reasons Russell's viper historically accounts for many snakebite deaths. Saw-scaled viper. The saw-scaled viper is relatively small but notoriously dangerous because of its proximity to densely populated regions and its extremely irritable disposition. It inhabits arid and semi-arid zones across parts of Africa, the Middle East, and the Indian subcontinent, and it often shelters inside agricultural debris, rock piles, and thatched structures, places where people tread without seeing it. The species' defensive behavior includes coiling tightly and rubbing oxidized scales against one another to produce a characteristic hissing saw sound, a warning that precedes bite incidents. Medically, saw-scaled viper venom is hemotoxic. It causes severe local swelling, hemorrhage, coagulopathy, and systemic organ dysfunction. Because the snake is common around rural dwellings and farms, it contributes disproportionately to snakebite morbidity and mortality in its range. Treatment requires antivenom, supportive care, and management of hemorrhagic complications. 11, fer-de-lance, Central South America Bothrop species, commonly called fer-de-lance in parts of Central and South America, are stout vipers with unpredictable temperaments and extremely destructive venoms. Their coloration and triangular heads make them effective ambush predators in tropical forests, plantation edges, and disturbed habitats. Many bites occur to agricultural workers and rural residents who stumble on hidden snakes in leaf litter or under logs. Venom from Bothrop species is rich in cytotoxins and hemotoxins that cause severe local tissue necrosis, bleeding, and sometimes systemic shock and renal failure. Because of the severe local damage, bites can require extensive wound care and, in worst cases, amputation if infection and necrosis progress. Timely antivenom and surgical debridement are critical, yet the combination of remote bite locations and limited medical resources means these snakes are among the top causes of serious snakebite outcomes in Latin America. 12. Death adder. Death adders are ambush specialists with a stocky body and short, broad head. They often rely on concealment and a flicking tail lure to attract curious prey within striking distance. Unlike many vipers that actively chase or pursue targets, death adders sit perfectly still in leaf litter or among debris until an unwitting frog or rodent steps close enough. Their short, powerful strikes are lightning fast, and they deliver highly efficient neurotoxic venom. Clinically, death adder envenoming produces neurotoxic paralysis similar to elapid bites, and victims can rapidly lose respiratory function without assistance. Though their distribution is limited to Australia and New Guinea, and modern antivenoms have reduced mortality, the death adder's ambush strategy means accidental contact and unexpected strikes remain the primary human risk. Their cryptic coloring and stillness make them easy to overlook until it's too late. 13. Belcher's sea snake. Belcher's sea snake is a graceful, highly aquatic elapid with a laterally flattened tail adapted for life swimming in tropical coastal waters of the Indo-Pacific. Its coloration is usually pale with banding, and unlike many terrestrial snakes, it spends almost all of its life at sea, surfacing briefly to breathe. Because it lives in fisherman-rich waters and sometimes becomes entangled or caught in nets, humans are exposed mainly during fishing activities rather than casual beach encounters. When bites do occur, for example when fishermen handle snakes in nets, envenoming can cause severe muscle breakdown, respiratory compromise, and systemic toxicity. Medical care and appropriate antivenom are life-saving, but the rarity of bites means both the risk and the scientific fascination coexist. Highly toxic but seldom dangerous in practical terms. 14. Boomslang, Africa. The boomslang is an arboreal African snake with large eyes and a slim, agile body. Many individuals have striking green, brown, or patterned coloration that helps them disappear among leaves. Behaviorally, the boomslang is generally shy and will usually retreat if discovered, but it can deliver a large, venomous bite when handled, a risk that has historically caught out naturalists and herpetologists. Bites are rare because the snake is arboreal and reclusive, yet the 1957 death of herpetologist Carl Schmidt after a bite is a famous historical medical case. He described his own symptoms before dying. That tragedy remains a sober lesson about venom variability and medical risk. 15. Mojave rattlesnake, USA. The Mojave rattlesnake is a desert-dwelling pit viper of the southwestern United States and northern Mexico that has gained attention for the potent neurotoxic and hemotoxic aspects of some of its venoms. In particular, populations where Mojave toxin is present. It has the classic triangular head, keeled scales, and a rattling tail used as a warning. Antivenom access in modern healthcare systems makes fatalities rare, but envenoming can still cause significant morbidity.